Hello students, welcome to Aditya Academy. I'm Dr. Ragini Arora and today's video is about the exercise 2.1 from NCERT. And since we had learned about all the important terms in the previous video of introduction of this chapter, so now in this exercise 2.1 we have only one question in which we have to find the number of zeros by examining graphs given in the question. So we had studied about this in our introductory video. Let me give you a recap. Zeros of a polynomial on a graph. So if I make a curve on this graph, if we have to find the zeros of this curve, we have to check how many times this graph is cutting or touching the x-axis. From this we can see that we have only 3 points at which this graph meets x-axis. So in this case we have 3 zeros of this polynomial or this curve. If I make another graph in which this is a line, please don't get confused about this axis. This is your y-axis. This line is cutting x-axis at this point, and this is the point where it meets y-axis. So we do not have to consider this point. Don't consider this point. Only look for the graph at which it meets x-axis. Here this line is meeting x-axis at a unique point, so it has only 1, 0. Let us have another example. If we have like this. This is a curve which is represented by a polynomial. If we are seeking the number of zeros of this polynomial, we can see that it is not touching or intersecting x-axis at any point. So we can say that this has no zeros. No zeros. So I hope this concept is clear to you. Now, so we come to our exercise. So in this question, they have given that the graphs of y is equal to px are given in the figures below for some polynomials. And we have to find the number of zeros of px in each case. So this is a graph of the first question, first part. Here, this is the line. This is a straight line, which is passing or intersecting through y-axis. This line has got no common point with x-axis. So we can say that there are no real zeros. No real zeros. Right? So we come to the second part. This is a curve. Now check. This red or pink line is meeting it here. This is y-axis. Do not consider this point. Now after this, this is meeting x-axis at a unique point. So we can say that this has got 1 real zero. 1 real zero. Since this curve is cutting x-axis at 1 point, so the number of real zeros is equal to 1. Next we have another curve. So see, this is a point, this is a point, and this is a point, and one more. Out of this, you can cut this because this is a point on y-axis. On x-axis, we can see that this is the first point, this is the second point, and this is the third point. We can write this as P, Q, and R. So this polynomial has got 3 real zeros. Right? Then in the next question, we have a parabola. A parabola, this is cutting x-axis at 2 distinct points, right? 2 distinct points. So here we have 2 real zeros, right? Then in the next part, we have, these are more than 2, 3 zeros. See, this is 1. This is 2 I'm not looking for this. This is y-axis. This is 3 and this is 4. So this graph or this polynomial is cutting x-axis at 4 distinct points. So we have 4 real zeros, right? Next we have this graph. In this graph, you can see that you can leave this. Then we have 1. This is not cutting x-axis. This graph is touching x-axis at a particular point. This is 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 points where this graph meets or touches the x-axis. So we have 3 real zeros. So this was all about this first exercise. We just have to look at the graph and tell the number of real zeros in every case. So I hope this was very easy. So we will meet in the next video with exercise 2.1. I hope you liked watching this video. Thanks.